And that's right, it's happening. I have made my way back down here to Brunswick County. Stopping today to get a little bit of lunch before we start our little adventure. Right here at one of my favorite hamburger locations in all of North Carolina. Talking about Beach's Burgers. Good afternoon, my friends. Welcome back to the channel on a very overcast day. But I am so hungry, I am so starving. So we're going to start off our vlog right here at Beach's Burgers, as I stated. And then we're going to do some stuff here in the area. And then we're going to make our way down toward Sunset Beach is my end goal today, because there is a relic down there from the past that meant a lot to the community of Sunset Beach that we're going to go check out today. I've never seen it before. I have driven across it. I'm talking about none other than the pontoon swing bridge. So this is going to be cool today. They have a little museum down there. Hopefully it's open. It says online it is open to 2 o'clock, so it's about lunchtime. We should have plenty of time to get down there and check that out. Thank you for hanging out with me. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, my friends, here we go. I have a single cheeseburger. Now, last time I was here, I went a little overboard. I got a double. But today we're going to change it up a little bit, because I remember somebody put in the comments somebody that worked here actually put in the comments last video I did here, just said come and try one of the hot dogs. So we got us a single burger patty, and this is what we're working with here. This here is the hamburger. Very nice. Now that double that I got was monstrous. This here is much more doable, probably about the size of a McDonald's hamburger it looks like, but I'm sure it's going to have a way different taste than a McDonald's hamburger, if you know what I mean. Okay, so we're just going to peel back the lid and kind of see the chili and slaw mustard that I like to get on my burgers. You can see a nice little char around the edges of the burger. Nicely well cooked. Okay, now we have seen the burger. Now it's time for the fun part. Yummy. That burger, that is so good. You know what's so good about this? There is no weak point. Not really. I mean, the toppings are just so fresh and tasty. That chili is awesome. And the slaw is really good. It's just the right chunkiness to the slaw. It gives it that extra texture. Man, that's so tasty. All right, here we go. Hamburger down. Right here is our hot dog. Same fixings on it. Chili, slaw, mustard. That is my go-to most of the time for stuff like this. So I just try to keep it even Steven, if you know what I mean. So let's taste this grilled hot dog here at Beach's Burgers. Okay, and right there is our bite. Very, very good. Enjoying my hot dog, man. This is a really good option too for you people who like hot dogs. So this hot dog is very tasty. Definitely recommend if you are more of a hot dog person than the hamburger person. Can't go wrong with this. But to me, the key to victory here is the chili and slaw. That's what sets the food here kind of apart from other like local places that you go get burgers and stuff like that. I think that is the winner for them. That is really, really good. Okay, so Beach's Burger was good as always. The hot dog was a big thumbs up for me. Now my plan was to go over to Ocean Isle Beach for a moment and kind of mess around over there for a little bit, but there is a pretty big thunderstorm cell right over there right now, so we're going to X that off the list today. I'm sorry about that. We're going to make our way on down towards Sunset Beach. Believe it or not, even though it's just one barrier island over, it seems like the weather is a lot better there, so that's where we're going to head to, and definitely go check out this old pontoon bridge from way back in the day. So should be a good time. Let's go ahead and head on in that direction. All right, welcome to Sunset Beach. I'm right here on the corner of Shoreline Drive and Sunset Boulevard. Right across the way there is Coastal Outfitters General Store. Really cool store. I've been in that place before. They have a roundabout right here that makes travel over to the island pretty easy. As you see the Brunswick County and Sunset Beach water tower right there in the distance. And we're just going to make our way right down through here. Now, I do want to let you know, if you've never been here before, that road right over there, that is the way to go across the new bridge that they built back about 15 years ago that takes you over to Sunset Beach. But back in the old days, yeah, that road did not veer off like that and go across some nice fancy bridge. It actually went down this road and it took you down this way, and that's where the old pontoon swing bridge was located. So that's kind of why I wanted to show you around this area, because this is part of the history. It kind of goes along with the theme of the vlog today, and the old pontoon swing bridge. So right here on my left, as we walk down toward the Sunset Beach Park, which I've never been to, I'm really excited to show you that. This right here is Bill's Seafood. Right here. Really cool. I have another restaurant right across the way here called Mavericks Point Restaurant. Unfortunately for me today, the no-see-ums are kind of out, which is kind of surprising because there is a breeze. That's why I'm using my microphone to not have a lot of wind noise and things like that. That wind noise drives me crazy in videos. But definitely want to keep our eye out today as we're here in these intercoastal waterway areas. You will see signs like this posted. Definitely just a reminder. Beware of alligators. Do not feed alligators for sure. That is definitely a big no-no. And this is what the park looks like. This is really nice out here. This is beautiful. They got swings out here. We're going to kind of walk around and kind of explore a little bit this park and kind of check things out. Definitely want to go over here and see some of this stuff that they got built. That is really, really cool. And golly, this is the first year in a long time that me and my wife have not made it down here through the spring, or at least even the earlier summer months, to Sunset Beach to do our annual walk out to the Kindred Spirit mailbox. That's something that we normally do almost every single year. There might have been one or two times in the last 14, 13 years that we have not done it, but this year we've not done it yet. But I do hear they got paid parking over there. Used to you just go over there and park and then just take your time and walk out through there and have a good time, but now you got to pay the park. So you got to think about how many hours you need to park and money wise and stuff. And man, I cannot stay in paid parking. I cannot stand it, man. These beaches are for the people. Why are we having to pay to park to go spend money at restaurants and so on and so forth? This is ours. We all pay taxes. Come on, give me a break. Okay, right here says it all. Thanks for our freedom. This here's like a big thank you type of a monument for our military, possibly first responders, as you see the fire department emblem right here. And right over here is the protect and serve police officer. Very, very cool. They have all these like little commemorative like bricks with people's names on it. This is really awesome. Then it's got the seals of all the United States military, giving them a little shout out. And then when we turn around, we have the world, and then you have all the wars that at least the United States has been a part of over the years. And then this is really cool. We have two kids. Looks maybe elementary school. I remember doing this in elementary school back in the early to mid 80s. We always put our hand over our chest and did the Pledge of Allegiance, and Star Spangled Banner would play. And that's how we started off our school day. Okay, so right there is the Thank You for Freedom little area. And then right here is all about 9/11. This here is gives you kind of a timeline of the World Trade Center disasters. Right there. Kind of give you everything you need to know. Right there they are. Man, that was some beautiful buildings. I mean, that was just such a big part of the New York City skyline right there. I think everybody who was alive, I know I can remember exactly what I was doing on that fateful morning on September 11th, 2001. I remember the people I was with. I remember everything about that day. And the surrealness at seeing that horrific view, that right there, seeing that on television was unbelievable. And and I didn't see that happen exactly live because I was at work. But I remember then we had the internet, and I remember they was like printing stuff off showing us, what it looked like, what was going on. And then right here is the third plane when it hit the Pentagon at 7:37 a.m. Unbelievable. Only a few months after this happening, I went to Washington for a football game to watch the Washington Redskins game. And I remember driving by the Pentagon, and you could see all the cranes and stuff out there and the big hole in it. It was amazing. It was unbelievable. It was still surreal. It was just mind-boggling to see it. And to see that happen on television, crazy. Absolutely crazy. I remember when it first happened, everybody was like, how did that happen? How'd that plane do it? And then it happened again, and then it was like evident it was on purpose. We shall never forget this day. And there is the new one, the new Freedom Tower, which I got to see last year, at least from a distance. When I was in Newark Airport, I could see it off in the distance across the bay. Pretty cool. Right here in the middle of this information, this kind of timeline, they have a eagle, the bald eagle up there, and they have like a plate right there, and I would imagine that is probably a piece of the wreckage from the 9/11 disaster. This is really nice right here. Look at these swings they have out here. We can come out here and just kind of take in a little bit of breeze. Walk over here. We got some guys over here trying to catch some feeder bait, maybe casting their nets. This is what beach living is all about. I love moments like this right here. Right there is a gazebo. I've kind of walked out here now because this is really, really nice. I love this green grass. It's beautiful. See a boat going by right here. Check this out. Wonder what these pod looking things are right here. What do you think that is? Is that for clams? Or something like that? Mussels to grow on? Interesting. But one thing I think is really neat down here, and the main reason why I wanted to walk on down this way is because this, you can see the new bridge that they built here, but this right here used to be the area where the old pontoon swing bridge used to sit. Right here in this spot. So that's pretty cool that I actually, back in about 2000, was able to drive across. Well, I wasn't driving, my dad was actually driving, but we navigated across this waterway with the swing bridge in operation. It's pretty cool. Now, I was never lucky enough to see the bridge itself function as the pontoon swing bridge, like the hydraulic pulleys and stuff that would, you know, move it to the side where other boats could pass through, which I can understand. A lot of people miss that bridge, but you got to think that with traffic and more population of folks going over to Sunset Beach, this new bridge is way more, you know, functional and makes life a lot easier. You know, it doesn't hinder anything. It won't back up traffic. So, yeah, all things must change sometime, but at least we can go see the old swing bridge today and kind of marvel at the old time bridge that was set here in 1958 and then removed, I think, around 2010 or 2011, give or take a year. Check out this little crab. He went right across my foot. I was walking over here to get a little bit closer to about the location where the old swing bridge actually stood, which I think is about right here. Right here in this vicinity is about where it actually extended out, and they have this seat right here, this little bench, and it actually says on it, celebrating the bridge tenders of the old Sunset Beach Bridge. Sitting right here. So it had to be right here in this area because I would imagine it lined up and it went across right where the new bridge comes, you know, goes down to the road on Sunset Beach. This right here would have been about the spot where it used to sit. Pretty cool. Right here next to the Oak and Palm. All right, we were just right over there at the Oak and Palm. This here is the area where people park all their vehicles. You can see the new bridge right here above us. But the old bridge is setting right over this way. So that's where we're headed. Okay, I made my way just beneath The Sunset Beach Bridge takes you over to the island, grants you passage, as they say. And look right here to the left. Right there is the old pontoon bridge right there beneath those trees. This is so cool. Made my way over here to the Old Bridge Historical Society. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. you can come and check out the little museum here for the bridge. And they do have quite a few parking places here, as you can see. You know, Old Bridge parking only, it says on that sign. So let's walk up here. We got about 20 minutes, and we're going to walk inside and see what we can see in this museum. But this is it, man. Look at this. This is a real relic. Look at that. Just think about all the families, people excited to come to the beach, Sunset Beach, have driven across this bridge throughout its existence from 1958 to like 2010 or whatnot. That is pretty awesome. That is so wild. Right here's a model.
Yeah. So the state took it over in 1963 and they operated it until 2010. They revamped it a couple of times, but they kept the same basic mechanics that Man and Gore put into the original one that he didn't build himself. That was when they were moving the tender house off with the barge. When they moved everything over here, that was part of the construction. They had to remove.
And what's this stuff right here?
This is Native American pottery that they found across when they started building Sea Trail over.
Just right out this way.
The Gulf, yeah, out that way. It's a couple miles of construction that they've done over the years. But yeah, we had a gentleman stop by here a couple weeks ago and brought this whole box of pottery that he found around here. Native American pottery. You're welcome to have a piece if you want.
Oh, that is so cool. Yeah, I appreciate it. I like stuff like this. That's my niece.
Oh, your niece.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. She goes everywhere with us.
She might enjoy that. We scared her when the door first opened.
Yeah.
Said, welcome to the old bridge. She burst out crying. Here's another piece.
Okay.
So you can see that it has a fabric. They have three different types that they show. One that they would make pottery when they traveled, you know, they take it with them, but if they as soon as they settled for a period of time, they would go ahead and make new pottery.
Yeah.
Because it broke pretty easily. They decorated them with different things.
Right. And this here is the control mechanism.
That's the control panel that did raised and lowered the gates, and they had stoplights. Because it was a one-lane bridge, so they had to tell one lane to go and then the next lane to go.
Right.
Back and forth. And then some of the stuff, the artifacts and things are on loan to us from the state. Some of the archaeological sites that they found, the sunken shipwrecks that they've recovered stuff from.
There's old scissors.
We tell people, yeah, a lot of the stuff that came in, especially during the Civil War, come into Wilmington, had to be brought in by boat because the North was a lot of the industrial production was in the north, and that was all cut off.
All right, this here is the old pontoon swing bridge. Really nice folks inside there. If you're here in the area, definitely stop in and say hello. They got a lot of t-shirts and things in there that you can buy. I was so busy talking to the woman downstairs where the t-shirts are located in the little museum. I actually show you the door I walked out of, but I'm right here at their closing time, so I did not want to take much of her time, but this door right here is where I walked out. So you walk in over here on this side, you can come up here, he'll show you around the controls of the bridge, a little bit of history, and then you go downstairs, and that's where they used to actually do all the operational stuff to make this bridge work. On this big diesel engine would move these big winches, and it would actually turn this bridge and open up the waterway where boats could pass through freely. So this was really a really cool little outing today. Look at the old pipe right here from the diesel engine. They still have. I just noticed that. Like a big old truck pipe. Look at that thing. That is pretty awesome. I do know they did tell me that all the proceeds and the money that they're making right now from selling t-shirts, Kinder Spirit mailbox models and things like that inside, They do not charge you anything to walk into this little museum or visit the bridge itself, but they're all the money they make from their proceeds, they're actually going to move this bridge back in this direction a little bit, which would be to our west. Okay, I had to think about it. I'm not in this area that much to know north, northwest, south, all that stuff, east. But yeah, this in this direction, because the man who actually owns the land where the bridge is setting at this moment, well, I think he wants it back. Nobody knows what he wants. Maybe he's going to sell it, whatever. But he's ready to have his land back. And so they got a plot of land down here, and the Army Corps and engineers are working with them, and they're going to move this bridge just a little bit further to the west on a piece of land down here. And that's where the new spot's going to be when the time comes. They did not give me a date. It's going to be quite the undertaking, they said, to move this bridge over there. But nonetheless, this was really, really cool today to come by here and see this historic relic from the town of Sunset Beach. Really, really cool stuff. Hope you enjoyed it, man. I really love this day. This is so neat seeing this. All right, this is one of the items that we bought inside. This is one of the things that Sunset Beach is really well known for, is their Kindred Spirit mailbox that you can hike to. Really cool fun fact about this that the lady inside told my wife when she purchased it is this wooden base right here that the mailbox is sitting on is actually a piece of the actual wood of the old pontoon swing bridge that we visited. So that's pretty cool. And the guy who makes these does it on his own time. He does it for free. So you know, he volunteers his time to actually, they save some wood for him, and then he makes these little wood bases, and then finally he builds the mailbox itself. So just thought that was really cool. Really happy she purchased this, because this is going to help move the bridge to a better location, since somebody's actually wanting their land back that it sits on now. Okay, I've made my way down the road just a little bit further now. This here is Shoreline Drive that kind of skirts along the Intercoastal Waterway here at Sunset Beach. And this is a cool little bird watch area. They got some places here where you can kind of gaze across this water. Got a golf course right here. But one reason I want to come down here, because sometimes you can come down here and see a gator or two. So kind of mess around here and see what we can see. All right. And I did find myself a gator pretty quickly. And right there he is. He's just hanging out there in the water, chilling out, just taking it easy. Little old fella. Kind of reminds me of the one I showed you guys maybe a month ago at Carolina Beach. At the Carolina Beach Lake, we had one about that same size that was just hanging out. He was a little bit more active. This guy's really, he's chilling. All right, my little friend, are you going to swim away now? Are you shy? He's like, all right, I've stayed here enough. I'm going to go under now and just kind of cruise on out to sea here. See you later, Yeti. Oh, never mind. He paused. Look at his tail's out of water right there. That was kind of cool. Pretty awesome stop. Okay, next up, let's drive across the bridge over to Sunset Beach and see what's happening over there. See if we can see any paid parking. All right, here we go. This is the Mannon-Seagour Bridge. It's pretty awesome. Kind of reminds you a little bit of Holden Beach Bridge, the way it has that little turn to it. Holden Beach, their bridge actually turns on the side leading to the island when you're going down to the island. This one actually has the curve as you start out, and then it straightens out when you come over here to Sunset Beach. See the ocean out there. Not very crowded, that's for sure. At least at this point. All right, I have made my way over here to Sunset Beach on the island. And right here in the little district where they have a lot of their shops and, you know, little creameries and island markets and stuff, you do have free 1 hour parking limit right here for businesses. It says no beach parking though, but just throw that out there from you. And this here is April 1st to October 31st from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. $50 fine for parking greater than 1 hour. So just keep that in mind if you come over here in the area, but at least you do have a free 1 hour parking location. And that's all along this main drag, when you come off the main bridge, all this stuff right here, these businesses, you actually have 1 hour free parking right here, which is pretty good. Now we're going to walk across the road down here to the beach access parking where the pier is located and check that out and see if that's paid parking. I bet it is. So let's go ahead and move in that direction. Man, that wind is really picked up here at Sunset Beach today. Look at those flags up there. They are serious business. But across the road from where I was just located is all paid parking now here in the beach parking area. Check that out. Yeah. Pay to park April 1st to October 31st from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So at least you have a little evening time, if nothing else, to come out here and enjoy some free parking. They don't give you that option at Carolina Beach. All right, let's carry on down the way here. All right, that was a real bummer. I just spoke to him, man. I said, hey, like, you know, how long have they been doing the parking thing? He said, well, I don't know. This is my first time here, and I got a ticket even though I paid for parking. And he said, I think maybe what happened is the license plate got put in wrong. God, I hear that all the time, like in Carolina Beach, Wrightsville Beach area. That is a big problem. Not having the right license plate in, they come by and they end up giving you a ticket, even though you end up paying for it. So that is a common problem. So if you do pay for parking, remember, always put your correct number in. Maybe check it 2 times, 3 times, whatever it takes to make sure you got the right number in. If not, they will leave you a ticket, even if you paid. All right, the yellow flag is out, telling everyone who's in the ocean to show caution. As I hear the sirens in the background are coming. It's a very, very crowded day here at Sunset Beach. Very windy. And I hear some emergency vehicle coming here. He's got his lights on. I just seen one just pass through here, and he took a right and went to the west down the beach. All right, so I made my way over here to the Sunset Beach Pier, and I noticed this sign right here. And it says wind phone. And I'm thinking wind phone, so I'm looking in this direction because the arrow is actually pointing there. And there's no wind phone. But when we look up there, look at that. See that little wooden structure up there? I think that's a wind phone. It actually says wind phone. Let's go up there and check that out. Okay, so maybe I need to give you a little bit of backstory before we look at this wind phone, what a wind phone actually is. A wind phone is not a real phone. It's not plugged up to any kind of power. It does not have a real phone line connected to it. It does not have a cell phone signal. It is a phone designed pretty much, I think it started maybe in Japan or somewhere like that, but it's made for people who are having difficult times to get over the loss of a loved one, more or less. That's the easiest way to explain it. And what people would do is when you have hurt, like that, when you lose something, you go to the wind phone, you pick it up, and you just kind of pour your heart out. You know, you talk to them and you tell them how much you miss them, and you just kind of carry on this conversation with the wind phone, and just, you know, the whole thing is they can hear you through the wind phone from the other side, more or less, you know, from heaven or whatever you believe. And that's kind of what it is. And the one that I visited up in the mountains, it was up in the Asheville area. I can't remember what town that was up there. I'll put a link down in the description below where you can see my video. That was the one and only wind phone I've ever seen. And now they have one right here in Sunset Beach, right next to the pier house itself. And right there it is. That is the wind phone. I love this. This is beautiful. I love the woodwork. Someone really did a good job to it. You know, putting this out here. We got some names on the side on these surfboards. You know, that's pretty cool. That was definitely a Packer fan, I would imagine. We love you. Really cool. But this here is the wind phone, and it's pretty easy how it works as far as using it. You just open up this door right here. And let's take a closer look at the wind phone and maybe read that message back there in the back. So right here above the phone, it says, "I see you stopping along your way. My love, do you have something you would like to say? For a moment, believe in what you can't see. I'm always here. You haven't lost me. That is so sweet. Pick up the phone and give me a call. Let's share a memory. None are too small. Say hello, goodbye, or tell me about your day. Say whatever it is you want to say. Talk with me as if no time has passed. Love never dies. Forever it lasts. That is beautiful. I love this. Man, Sunset Beach, when it comes to like cool stuff like this, they always do it right. So cool. Have a little notebook right here, kind of similar to the way the Kindred Spirit mailbox is. But yeah, I love this. And I love the actual painting on the inside, the palm trees. It's so happy. And the phone. It all goes together. It ties in so well. Who would have thought Sunset Beach has a wind phone now? So if you didn't know, now you know. All right, my friends, I think that is going to pretty much do it for me today. I just want to say thank you so much for watching the videos. I really do appreciate it. Love reading those comments. Keep them coming on our little adventures. What an awesome day. We got to see a very historic old bridge. It was a big part of the Sunset Beach community for many, many years, from like 1958 until what, 2010 or 11. Pretty awesome. And then I made my way over here to the beach to check out the paid parking, which unfortunately is a thing, but at least they have some 1 hour parking across the street. That's at least one good side of it. And got to see something new. I didn't even know this was here. A wind phone right here at Sunset Beach. That is so awesome. All right, my friends, thank you again. Until next time, I'm the Hitchhiking Yeti, and I will see you on my next adventure. Y'all stay safe, and I hope to see you all again soon. And it looks like the clouds are not going to be too much of a threat because I'm fixing to leave. And while I've been here for the last several minutes, big old sunshine done showed up. The big old sunshine. Smiling down on me. All right. Y'all have a good day. Let's get on back to Carolina Beach.